Section 9 covers online help. This course covers a lot of material, but you will find that you may need some external resources to build upon this course material. And so you can go to built-in help, vendor websites, and third-party websites to expand your knowledge about any of the topics in this course. Section 9 is about getting extra help, and that will wrap up Part A of the course. After this, you'll be ready to move on to Parts B and C, the intermediate level parts of the course. So this course contains a lot of information, but at some point in time, you're going to need to get extra help. What we're really trying to do here is establish a strong foundation of computing skills and concepts. And once you've established that, then you can go on and learn more. So at some point in time, you're going to need to get extra help. And a lot of times in this course, I will point out that it's important to understand a particular skill or concept, but it's really beyond the scope of the course, and then you will need to go and research that later, maybe when you've gained a little bit more experience. So if you do need extra help, there's a few places to go and look. First of all, a lot of applications or commands have built-in help, so you can look right there within the command or application. Alternatively, you could try the vendor's website. If there's some software that's developed by Microsoft, you could go to Microsoft's website or whoever the vendor happens to be. Alternatively, you could go to a third-party website. There's a lot of good websites out there. Some of them you have to be careful with because you want to make sure that they're trustworthy. So in this section, I've listed a few websites that I've used before. It's certainly not an exhaustive list, and I might add to it later before I finalize the document, but I'll show you a few that you could use. Okay, so first of all, let's look at built-in help. This is section 9.1. If we go to the command line, we can do a help and pipe to more, so we can see all the commands that we could get some help with. So for example, if we wanted to find out more about the change directory command, let me Control C to get out of that. We could do help cd, and then it will give us information, different options, or the syntax that we need to use in order to execute that command properly. Okay. In PowerShell, we can use the get help commandlet along with a command, and I'm going to pipe it to more because it's a lot of information. But if you use get help with another command, it will also give you some additional information such as the syntax and some different remarks and all the different options that you could use. And I'll Control C out of that. And now we will go over to Linux. And once again at our Ubuntu virtual machine. So a lot of commands, if you just type in -- help, it'll provide extra information. One other command that you'll want to know is the man command. That stands for manual. So if you type in man IP, and I probably should have, okay, so this will display one page at a time. So once again, you just get the same kind of help. It shows you what options there are, what the syntax is, how it expects the command to be constructed. And so these are several ways that are built in to the application or the operating system that you can get additional help. Again, the commands that I've given you several commands with some basic options, but you're not limited to necessarily those options. There's many more that you could use, and going into the help commands will help you understand what those additional options are. Okay, now let's take a look at just a few vendor websites, and it's probably pretty intuitive based on what application that you're using. So there's Microsoft. Microsoft has several other websites such as TechNet and support.microsoft.com. There's redhat.com, CentOS.org, Ubuntu.com. So there's basically whatever vendor that your software was developed by, that's the vendor you'd want to go and look for additional help there. And finally, if you don't find what you're looking for on the vendor website, you could go to a third-party website Linuxdie.net is a really good one. DigitalOcean's really good. Stack Overflow, of course YouTube. If you can find some 2 or 3 minute video to help explain a concept, a lot of times that's really good. And now we're going to move into part B, where you can learn some more intermediate level skills and concepts.